Hey guys, NASCAR Move for back again, and welcome back to another video. This one is not a tier list video or a paint schemes video. This one is the top 10 wrecks I've seen, or the top 10 worst wrecks I've seen since being a NASCAR fan in like 2016 to now. And in this top 10 list, you're gonna have some wrecks from 2016 to now, but some of them you're gonna have some from the past, like even before when I was born and stuff, just to see, because I've seen some wrecks in the past on YouTube, and man, those wrecks are something. They are scary, and it makes me question, how did they survive that? But anyway, let's go ahead and dive on into this episode right here. So let's go ahead and start off with number 10.
Ricky Rudd gets the jump. He's the early leader. Oh, trouble! Steve Park is off into the infield. Another car involved. Over on his lid, it's Parkindale Jr. Terrible crash.
So starting off at number 10, we have Steve Park and Dale Jr. Pocono crash back in 2002. And when I first saw this wreck, I was thinking, oh my gosh, this can't be happening to them, with Dale Earnhardt's passing in 2001. And then the following year, they have this with Steve Park, a very scary and looks like a very deadly crash. But with the safety in NASCAR 2002 was not that bad, actually. And then you saw Steve Park just go head into the guardrail, just flipped, and landed on his side. He was okay. Dale Jr. went to go check on him. He was all good. It was just difficult for him to get out of the car since he was at that weird angle, but Steve Park was okay, able to walk away with Dale Jr. in his arm to the ambulance, and everything was okay for them. But still, you don't want to see a scary wreck like that ever in NASCAR, and those that could be potentially life-threatening. So that was number 10. Let's go ahead and move on to number 9.
Bumper of Blaney, and the right side of Kyle Busch's car was in his way.
Getting crowded up there in the front right now with the 42. Oh,
Whoa,
trouble! Big
crash. Danica Patrick and Joey Logano.
Oh man,
and Erik Amarola.
Holy smoly! Oh, heavy damage there on Danica.
Now on to number 9, we have Erik Amarola's scary and injury crash at Kansas back in 2017. The following race, he was replaced by Bubba Wallace, I believe, at Pocono. And then, yeah, just a scary impact because Joey Logano had a rotor incident, and then the car just turned left into Danica Patrick, sent her head onto the wall, and then Amarola just nowhere to go. Just an innocent bystander just plowed into them. Huge fireball, like, underneath the car and by Danica's car. Very scary incident for that right there. Erik Amarola, I believe, had a spinal, like something in his spine, a spine injury, like it was like fractured and stuff, something a part of his back, of course. And that was the last time I believe NASCAR has had a driver get injured in a crash. Well, in the Cup Series. I'm not sure about Xfinity and Trucks because I did not watch them until like 2020, or 2019. So still a very bad crash. It was good to see him get the window net down, but then later they had to cut open the roof of the car and just get him out of there. That was the only way, because he couldn't get out of the window because of his back and stuff. So that was a big issue. So hate to see that, but Amarola, he's still racing to this day. He just won at Loudon this past weekend, so cool to see Amarola still racing and, fight back from this crash a few years ago. Now that's number 9. So we'll move on to number 8.
Whoa, something broke. Something broke in the car. Oh my God. Something broke in the car. Man, we got to get him. We got to talk to him, find out what the heck happened there.
On to number 8, we have Jimmie Johnson's 2000 Watkins Glen crash, and oh man, this one brings back memories. I remember seeing this one of the earliest videos I've seen, like one of the worst crashes at a road course. That one, Johnson just going head on into the styrofoam barrier in turn 1, knocking some of the styrofoam out of the racetrack, and I was surprised Jimmie was standing. He was able to lift both his arms up high, cheering to the crowd, showing that he was A-okay. That was something. That shows you how tough Jimmie Johnson was, because if you were new to NASCAR, you would suspect, I think he has like a leg injury. That could be like the best thing that could happen to him, anything much worse. Like, but no, he's a-okay. Jimmie's fine. So that is a very huge shocker there. I'm happy for my man Jimmie Johnson right there, even though it was in the past, but still good for Jimmie Johnson. Now let's move on to number 7.
Push that Atlanta car back out front, more wrecking.
And around goes the 95 and the 37.
Hard hit.
Oh, the wall.
Oh my goodness. Oh, it's awful.
Ryan Preece in the 37.
Fantastic. That's Ryan talking.
Glad to hear that.
Another recent crash that's happened back last year, Ryan Preece's head-on impact to the inside wall at Kenseth, and man, that was a scary one because after he got clipped by Christopher Bell. Once he was going head-on, after he made the impact, he just went on his side, flipping and landed on all 4 wheels. And I'm glad that he was talking after that wreck. He said, "Fantastic." I'm like, oh, okay, wow. I'm surprised he's okay. I'm surprised he just reacted or responded that quickly, like in a finger snap right there. So that's good for Ryan Preece, especially for them, because JTG at this point of the season was having so much bad luck. So good for Ryan Preece that he was okay. Still racing once again to this day. Just another scary incident. You see how it's kind of rare to see these kind of incidents happen at mile and a half, but they'll come, they'll happen, they'll get you. So now let's move on to number 6.
Oval track win. He won it in Finion 96 races ago on the road course.
And who
half
do
a
you-
second. And the 99 has turned over Brad Keslowski.
And we have a caution. My goodness.
I don't know if I'm okay.
Keslowski was on track for a 6th place finish.
This wreck right here, in my opinion, was the worst wreck on a mile and a half racetrack that I've ever seen. Carl Edwards turned over Brad Keselowski and then probably just want to turn him into the grass, probably revenge from the 2009 Talladega race. But then Keselowski, knowing the speeds that they go at Atlanta and another track like Texas, that just turned him over, landed upside down on his side a bit by the outside wall in turn 1 and landed on all 4 wheels again. That was a very scary wreck because it got even scarier when he said, "I don't know if I'm okay." That's a very scary sign right there. And you see the top of the car just crushed, caved in to the inside of the car that could hit Keselowski on the head, because Keselowski, he's pretty tall. He's not that short. He's pretty tall. And so that was a very concerning incident right there. So Keselowski, he's okay. I don't know if he suffered an injury from this one because this was back in 2010, so I would not know. But man, just another scary incident. Like I said in the last one, it's just rare to see these incidents happen at mile and a halves, but they'll get you. They'll come to you. They got you. But now let's move on to the top 5.
He shoots him forward.
Oh boy, Stanley Steamer.
Whoa, there's... Oh,
And
no.
around she goes
There we go.
into Kenseth.
Oh, gosh.
Up in the air and into the wall hard.
Man, Kenseth.
Man, I thought he was going to catch the catch fence back there. The way it landed was...
I am not believing that.
On to number 5, we have Matt Kenseth's flip at Talladega back in 2016. This was the first ever flip I've ever seen. I mean, I know Chris Buescher flipped in this race earlier, but I didn't see that part. But seeing this, when Kenseth was airborne, I thought he was going to go into the catch fence or probably go over, because I didn't know how these flips worked in the sport. And then he just landed, just like Keselowski in the last one, on top. And then he was just skating across the track surface and landed back on all 4 wheels. I'm thinking, at least it wasn't caved in. But that was just a very scary incident for Matt Kenseth. Good thing he was okay, because I feel like Matt Kenseth has had worse wrecks than that, but I feel like this is probably one of them. But yeah, he turned out okay. Danica Patrick also took a hard hit. She had to go catch her breath, but man, that's just the first scariest wreck I've seen being a NASCAR fan back in 2016, the Geico 500, Matt Kenseth's flip. So that's number 5. Let's go on to number 4.
Hard on the inside and Sterling Marlin outside.
And Ernie going with Earnhardt down on the inside. That's going to hit. Oh, big time trouble.
Terrible crash. Front of the field all torn up. Earnhardt's car destroyed. A major crash.
We jump from 2016 to 1996 for number 4, Dale Earnhardt's wreck at Talladega. As you saw right there, the 28 car came up into the 4 of Sterling Marlin and then clipped down into Dale Earnhardt. Dale Earnhardt going at over 200 miles an hour at Talladega Superspeedway, and one of the fastest tracks out there, and because he's the leader, goes head into the outside wall and then automatically flips on his side, then goes upside down, gets hit by 2 cars, goes upside down back on his side, got hit again, and there's the car right there, heavily damaged. Just a sight that you don't want to see. And then later, I believe that they had to cut him out of the car. I believe he was stuck, and so once they cut him out of the car, he was holding his hand or his arm to his chest, and I'm thinking, oh, did he break his arm? And like, oh no, I guess he just didn't, because he gave a thumbs up later, but then he was limping, like he needed help just to walk. And so I bet he probably got hurt or something, like he was limping, or they probably just he was just a bit shaken up. So good to see Dale Earnhardt come out of that alive, but it wasn't very lucky for him a few years later. Still rest in peace to Dale Earnhardt, the Intimidator. But man, another scary crash by another driver at a super speedway. All right, guys, let's head on to number 3.
Junior to the bottom of the track. Junior will win at Daytona. And the big one happens behind them. Oh my God.
All right, on to number 3 of Austin Dillon's 2015 flip at Daytona. This one can kind of still give me some chills right here. Austin Dillon just gets collected when Denny Hamlin turns and then flipped up into the air, into the catch fence, lands back on near the turf in turn 1, and then or no, actually the quad oval. And then he's just sitting there. Then Keslowski comes in, hits him, and then Austin Dillon's just sitting there upside down. And when I first saw this wreck, I was surprised he survived or did not have an injury, because once those crew members gave the thumbs up, I was thinking, okay, thank goodness he's okay. And then he walked out of there unscathed. It didn't even look like he had a scratch on him. He looked perfectly fine. And so Austin Dillon walked out of that perfectly okay, and he still races to this day. And I don't think he's had any other scarier wrecks than that. That has to be the scariest wreck of his life, and that's only his 3rd season in the Cup Series. Wow, but good thing Austin Dillon turned out okay from that. Now, we're down to our final 2.
For the final time. Blaney to the outside, to the inside. Here comes Hamlin up the outside.
Wow.
Crash into the wall, into the air goes Newman.
Upside down.
In a shower of sparks on his roof, Ryan Newman comes across the line, 4th.
Another huge incident right here. We all know this one all too well. Ryan Newman's scary crash at Daytona last year in 2020. Man, he just got hooked by Blaney, and he hit the wall, and he flipped and got hit by Corey LaJoie, which made it worse. And then he just skated across the surface right there, and then in the shower sparks. Now the worst part of it, when he was skating across the surface, that's driver's side. That's on the driver's side. That could get very bad for him. He could have caught on fire and stuff, but good thing he didn't. In fact, they're wearing fire suits, so it's all good, and he was leaking gas and stuff. And I also saw in someone's video that Corey LaJoie, once he stopped his car by Ryan Newman after he got hit, and he was like bending down. He was like bending down towards Newman, and I was questioning, is Corey LaJoie okay? Is he just like trying to heal the pain or something, or was he just praying for Newman to be okay after that incident? Either one, but yeah, what a scary incident right there. I watched this one in a Panera Bread when this happened, and I was kind of shocked, and I was about to yell, and then some people looked at me because I'm like and stuff. And then I showed my mom, and it was just scary. But then Newman walked out of that hospital 2 days later, and he was all good, and came back to race and finish up the 2020 season when NASCAR returned from the pandemic. And he might be out of a ride after this year. So, well, he is out of a ride after this year. So, yeah. But Ryan Newman, just terrible luck for him right there. And yeah, now the moment we've all been waiting for. It's time for number 1. Or actually, no, wait. Let's go ahead and move on to the honorable mentions. For the honorable mentions, we have the Truex and Custer wreck at COTA, Kyle Larson's Nationwide Series wreck at Daytona back in 2013, David Ruderman's 2011 Watkins Glen crash, Keslowski's Daytona wreck from 2021, And Carl Edwards' 2009 Talladega crash. And now there's some other crashes that did not make the honorable mentions, but they would definitely be in my top 20, top 30, such as Kurt Busch's 2013 Talladega flip, Elliott Sadler's Pocono crash in 2010, Casey Kane's 2010 Nationwide Series Bristol wreck, and finally Eric McClure's Talladega wreck. And now, from 2012, and now let us go ahead and look at the worst wreck I've ever seen as a NASCAR fan.
Not following the truck in front of him. Don't know what's going on there.
Whoa! Oh, look out! We got trouble. This is going to hurt.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
Yep.
Keep your fingers crossed.
And finally, we cannot forget Jeff Beaudin's 2000 Craftsman Truck Series flip at Daytona. You see him get shoved into the catch fence. He goes, it tears it up, and fire's going through into the grandstands, and he goes out here and flips, and you could just see the roll cage at this point. I don't see any black and yellow that was supposed to be on that truck. And then he got hit again, fire went underneath, and he landed, and this had to be the luckiest day of Jeff Beaudin's life because he survived. He lived because the commentators sounded like that he was dead, and some of the spectators thought that he was dead, but no, he lived because he only got severe injuries, like he had a fracture in his right wrist, his right cheekbone, I believe. He had a vertebrae in his back, a right ankle fracture, and he had a concussion. And also 9 spectators were injured in this crash. And this man was able to come back and be able to race some more and win some more races after this. Of course, this was 2000, so of course he didn't race until for another like 5, 6, 7 years and stuff. But it was still a miracle for him to survive a crash like this, and I just could not believe it because once he hit the catch fence and stuff, and when he started flipping, I just thought in my mind, there's no way. But yes way, he did survive this. This has to be the biggest, or the biggest miracle in NASCAR history. And this is not even a Cup Series race, this is Truck Series. So it's good to see that. And now that ends it off, as that is the worst crash I've ever seen as a NASCAR fan. And that will do it. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Guys, I'm just gonna be honest, I've made this video a couple times earlier today, but then copyright issues happened. So this is the 3rd time I'm filming. It's like 10 o'clock at night, so hopefully I can get this before midnight because I want to stay on schedule because I have to film in a couple days. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.